We're going to go ahead and begin our work session. We're going to move into Municipal Services Committee, and I'm going to turn it over to Chairman Ed Long.
Thank you, Mayor. And continuing our departmental reports, we are going to have our first commission report as of tonight. That's water, wastewater. Gary?
All righty. All right. Good evening, Mayor, Council. Cabot Waterworks. So tonight ending, let's see here. Let's get the right one here. It's not operating, Ken. There we go. Now we got it. All right. My fellow commissioners, I'm Gary Walker. Good evening to you. Burt Mayer is here with me. David Butler is our secretary, and John Woodall and Richard Gray. That's the folks that serve as commissioners on Cabot Water and Wastewater Commission. Our staff, Tim Joyner, he's here tonight, is our general manager. Bruce Brown is our financial manager. Karen Ballard's our human resources and our safety officer. David Langstaff is our superintendent, our maintenance superintendent. Mike Bickerstaff is our water field service manager over the readers and things. And then Jackie Jenkins is our customer service supervisor that takes care of the front desk at the office. Just a few statistics as of December 31, 2022. We have 32 employees, almost 10,700 metered water customers now, 9,354 wastewater customers, and we bill for the city 8874 in garbage billing accounts on a monthly basis through December 31, 2022. Something that's always at least interesting to me, and it's what we use as a planning tool, one of our planning tools for strategic water planning and water. We're looking out through 2080. This is actually in cooperation with Metro Plan. We use their population guide, and this is adjusted for the last census report that we have. As you can see up in the top right-hand corner, we were planning at that point in time on about a 48,000, nearly a 50,000 planning, and so it's been edged down now to 36. So what we do with this, though, is to use this to plan our MGD, both peak and average water use per day that we do, and that's how we plot this out over a period of time. And we look, and our planning today goes through again 2080. Water storage, as of 2022, we have 8 tanks. We have 8 tanks. We have 3 water planes, if you will, that we do. We call it main, intermediate, and hilltop, and those are our pressure gradients. We have about a little over 6.1 million gallons of water storage capacity. At any point in time, we want to maintain about 20 psi in the lines. So we've got about 4.8 million of usable water storage of any day that we have in case we have outages or a catastrophic issue on that. And of course, depending on the time of year we're at, we use more water in the summer than we do in the winter months, generally speaking. So that would tell you how many what type of overage we've got there and how far we could go on our tank supply if we had a catastrophic water loss. I won't bore you with the little figures there. You've got those in your computer there with you, which is the stats as far as the water distribution system on miles of pipe and all the different things that we had staff include in this presentation. For 2023, our budgeted water distribution projects, our meter replacements, we're replacing all of the meters over a period of time, over a 10-year period. We want to replace with ultrasonic, gives us a better reading and a better quality meter, and we don't have to, and the cost of replacement is not as high. So that's what we're doing over a period of time of that, and we're doing 1,000 of those a year to replace all the water meters within our system. Service line replacements there, as you can see what it's budgeted for. New services, that'd be new meters that are put in based on new construction. We're going to replace about 1,800 feet of 10-inch PVC on Lindy Lake Road. That is a perennial issue for us. It's just how the ground moves up there, and it cracks the pipe, and then we got a lot of issues there, so we need to do some work up there. And we're going to undertake that this year. New water main extensions, we got a grant from Lonoke County, the ARPA grant money, $436,000 and some odd dollars. That is money that we will use for county areas within our water service area. Grayhawk will be the first one that we will be looking at doing, and then we'll be going from there. So that's under design and that process now. We'll start into that as we go through the year. 167 interchange, water line relocation, when that comes through from RDOT, when they decide what the easements are going to be, we will do water, and that's going to cost us, we estimate somewhere in the neighborhood of $300,000 to do that. And then finally, we have 4 water tank inspections. Ever so often, the health department comes around and wants you to inspect certain water tanks. So this year, they have given us the 4 that we need to do. So that's what we will do. And so that's our water budgeted distribution projects for 2023. Regulatory agencies, some of you that have not been here, I know Corey, you've not been in here before, but water regulatory agencies that have the say-so over water as far as from operations and long-term planning. The EPA, federal EPA, Arkansas Department of Environmental Quality, they have say over the Clean Water Act and our water permits. Arkansas Department of Health, construction standards and our Safe Drinking Water Act. Arkansas Natural Resources Commission, they have control of the state water plan and authority over the water use and as far as service areas, and Act 605 in rate study requirements. And in USGS, which does study as far as groundwater and as far as the sustainability of the aquifers. So those are the regulatory agencies that we deal with on daily and throughout the year. All right, wastewater. Again, I won't bore you with the stats there. We just had the staff put them in there for you so you can see that. You can peruse that whenever you want to. Our budgeted wastewater projects for 2023, we attack that every year, try to as best we can. Grinder pump refurbishment, because it's a city ordinance that we do grinder pumps the way we do them. We're in charge of refurbishing all of those, and so we put that in the budget every year. Also on Highway 5 and 89, the 167 interchange relocations. Again, when RDOT decides where the easements are, those utility easements will be relocated outside of the highway department's easements. We're also going to convert about 2,400 feet of 12-inch force main coming down Douglas Road to gravity sewer. And then we're going to replace about 2,700 feet down here on our Hudson Branch Basin, which is better known as 2nd Street, and the nursing home and Fortson Trailer Park down here. And then also we are starting construction on Highway 321 Phase 3, the ARPA grant of $4 million that we received from the city. That engineering and planning is done, and construction will start on is starting on that this month. And here are the wastewater regulatory agencies. It's basically the same ones that we had before. EPA, environmental quality, they have set over the INDES permit for our wastewater effluent discharge back into the streams, natural stream. Department of Health, and then Arkansas Natural Resources, and then state law. Our future objectives, unfortunately, I'm not going to say a lot tonight about HB 1515 because until that passes, that legislation is behind where we normally thought it was going to be, or we would have had a more in-depth discussion tonight. But moving forward, water and wastewater deposit requirements, our capital requirements, operation and maintenance and depreciation. As you can see, our long-term development of our cost of service models to replace and upgrade our deteriorated sewer mains, the design and install of Holland Bottoms Phase 3, that's actually 321, one in the same. Eliminate infiltration in I&I, and we want to eliminate our sanitary sewer overflows wherever that's at. Eliminate sewer pump stations where feasible to cut the power costs down. We would like to go gravity wherever we can. New water mains to improve our capacity and quality, and that's part of the Grayhawk thing, and to maintain a hydraulic model of our water system. And our wastewater plant sludge disposal, we have to do that every so often to clean out our ponds. and dispose of them properly, and in their future EPA requirements for water and wastewater, and then continue to review our surface water options as we go forward. So with that, it was short and sweet, but do you have any questions that we can answer for you or research for you?
Anybody on the council got any questions for Gary?
I have one quick question. Our water source availability. I know we're on our field, our wells now. How long can we remain on our wells?
Currently with ANRC, it will be through 2026, October of 2026.
We probably don't need to go into that any further right now. James Act 605, which is what we're under right now, has really got some pretty big ropes in it, not strings, but ropes in it. And the bill to replace that 1515 that Gary mentioned a while ago is supposed to run in the Senate today. We don't know if it did. It was on their calendar to run today. If it passes, it is going to completely change the conversation about future water sources. If it passes, I'm going to ask Gary to come back and make a complete detailed report on how that changes. So right now, we don't know. Is what it boils down to.
I'd like to see us remain as independent as we can and use our own water field.
Under our current act, 605, that will be impossible.
Anyone else?
Anybody in the audience got any questions, comments, concerns for Gary on our water?
Thank you.
Again, depending on what happens this week and in Little Rock, if it happens this week in Little Rock, maybe can get Gary back in May to give us a quick, because it's going to change. It's going to change the way we are right now. You wouldn't like the information at all, period. There's a good possibility that can change to the betterment of everybody. There's been a lot of push to get 605 taken care of. We have worked with Brian. He has been instrumental in getting some things done. The Municipal League has been more than instrumental in it, Mayor. You're very much aware of that, I know. Without John and them's help, I don't think we'd be as far along as we are right now with it. I do too, but you never know, and then if it passes, what's going to happen across the hall at the governor's office. So that's why. And I'm the one that asked Gary not to go into it very detailed tonight because of that very reason. So, Gary, thank you. As always, that was a good report. If I can get Roger's new tablet back up here to find out where I'm at now. Paul?
Good evening. Good evening, Mayor, Council. All right, Street Department report for 2022. Through our bond projects, street overlays were performed on Greystone Boulevard, Glendale Drive, Woodhaven Drive, West Cherry Street, Kirkland Drive, Glen Eagle Drive, Kerr Station, Adams to Campground, Oak Meadows Drive, Barnwell Drive, Meadowlark Drive, Pear Street, Liberty Street, Sycamore Street, Spence Street, Pheasant Run Drive, Page Avenue, Robinson Street, Lakewood Subdivision, Fantastic Drive, and Dale Drive. There's the Barnwell Drainage Project, which is still in progress, and the Dakota Extension Phase 2, which is still in progress. Street Department projects, we improved the drainage at Stonewood Drive by adding an additional culvert, curb inlet, and enlarged one of the throats of an existing curb inlet, and then gave the street the necessary crown to get the water in the gutter where it needs to be. Deer Creek drainage, we installed 130 feet of concrete retaining wall with floor where the ditch was eroding the shoulder of the street right there. You know, that curve right there is your, from Douglas right there by, what is that, Christie. North Hills Drainage installed 140 feet of 18-inch culverts and a drain box to help relieve flooding. Bellamie at East Main installed 100 feet of culvert and sidewalk to improve the intersection for school buses and traffic. And up toward the end of North Polk Street, where the floodway crosses the street, installed new culverts, head walls, and guardrails. Work orders for 2022. I apologize. I didn't catch this discrepancy in the number of work orders until I was doing a proofreading this afternoon late. The total you should see is 1,093. 1093. Street repairs, 14,249 square feet of asphalt repairs at various locations around the city. 2,453 tons of gravel used, 50 tons of cold mix asphalt used for pothole repairs, and 445 feet of curb repairs. For drainage, 64 ditch excavations with a total length of 20,121 feet, 56 total culvert replacement and installs, with 1,144 total length of culverts installed. 4 concrete drain inlet boxes were replaced. We replaced or repaired 11 damaged concrete drain inlet tops. 1,000 square feet of grass sod was used for repairs. Snow and ice removal. 30 tons of sand were used last year and 10 tons of salt. Mosquito control, 400 gallons of mosquito spray was used. Staffing, a new director, which stands before you in September. I added an additional crew leader position. One of my laborers was promoted to equipment operator. 2 new laborers were hired and had 1 transferred from traffic to stormwater floodplain inspector, taking the job that I had before I was promoted. Outlook for 2023. For bond projects, Crestwood Drainage Project, which is an armoring of the floodway back there where it turns abruptly right behind Crestwood Cove. Streetscape Phase 3. Hopefully the Elm Street Extension Project. And you've probably noticed they've already started the Locust CDBG project. And it's coming up for bid soon, the South Locust Street project. Street Department will be making improvements at the Linda Lane at Countrywood intersection, help the buses be able to turn and help the drainage in the area. We've done already some drainage improvements on Mountain Springs Road, and we're going to continue drainage improvements across James Drive and down Mulberry Street. We'll also be doing some over in Stonehenge, where, for whatever reason, some needed drainage was kind of left out of the development there. And of course, our usual maintenance and repairs citywide, which is forever ongoing. We will be getting a new jet rotor this year, hopefully a new water truck. I've been in contact on getting 2 new pickups. They're 3/4 tons, but the dealer tells me that Ford is very, I don't know what the right word would be to say Ford is, but it's kind of hit and miss with being able to get them. I still haven't had a direct answer from them if I can get them this year. Added 4 new Z-turn mowers for the shop, as with the street department's doing the citywide mowing. In the previous year, it was contracted out. This year, we're doing it all. And building and grounds improvements, new fencing out the shop. We're in the preliminary process of getting a generator for my facility, which has been very much needed. And the old house there in front of my shop will be demoed and removed. With that, do you have any questions?
Paul, I've got one. Can you give us a quick overview of the Meadowlark project, please?
The overlay on Meadowlark has caused some drainage issues. When you do an overlay and it goes all the way and fills the gutter in, sometimes that's not a good thing. I've had a contractor over there getting some of the spots milled out to where it'll drain a little better. But even from the get-go, before the overlay, Meadowlark's drainage wasn't the best, but I hope to improve that this year.
Anybody else on the council got any questions for Paul?
Paul, thank you for that presentation.
Yes, sir.
Could you explain, and this may be for the mayor, the Elm Street extension? Because I've had a lot of conversations about Chick-fil-A and traffic. And I would like for you to explain what the city's plan is to help relieve that traffic.
We have a $400,000 state aid grant that we've had on the books for 10, 15 years. 4 different mayors have tried to get it done. We finally got all the easements, and I think we were waiting on a letter from water. We've got the letter. We're waiting on a letter from Summit Utilities to say that they'll move the utilities as needed per the plans, and once we give RDOT that, they'll take it to bid. So hopefully we're looking at a spring letting at May.
We hope to get on bid letting
Any day. Any day. So once that bids, the project will take, depending on the weather, 4 months to a year, right? So as I want to say again, 4 months to a year. Nothing goes quick in this city, it seems like. So, but yeah, we're hoping to have it done. Our goal is to have it done by the time Chick-fil-A opens. But you got to remember, Chick-fil-A has a 42-car stacking, and we're not going to allow right turns out of there. They were going to have to go down 8th Street and wrap around and go out at the light on 10th Street. So we think we have the area addressed, but Elm Street will help a whole lot, yes.
Thanks for clarifying.
Anybody in the audience got any questions, concerns, or comments? Don't talk about potholes. Paul, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mayor. Thank
For
you,
your
Council.
first time, you've done a great job. Appreciate it. Thank you
sir.
so much.
Thank you.
Our next one is economic development. Everybody's interested in that. Maybe we don't hear enough from this lady, so I think I'm going to change that up a little bit this year. Lisa?
Absolutely. Good evening, Mayor, City Council. In front of you, I did give a handout to everybody, which will recap some of the slides that we have on here. I've also uploaded this to our website. So under cabotar.gov, under economic development, is the economic impact report for 2022, if anybody would like to download that and access it. So let's get started. So we did increase some of our marketing whenever we are going out on site selector visits and just getting our exposure as far as the city of Cabot goes, and really highlighting our demographics and the importance of recruiting those businesses and industry back to the city of Cabot. So we've done a lot of different things that we haven't done in the past, and these are just a few of those examples. So our business retention and expansion programs, we touched on these during the State of the City, and so we started some different programs that we've never had in the city before. So we did starting a small business seminar, the community branding project, Arkansas Governor's Conference on Tourism, being involved in that aspect and moving sports tourism forward in the city of Cabot. college and career fairs, groundbreaking events, Central Arkansas Site Selection Showcase, Cabot Economic Development Q&A meetings, how to start a business resources, and the Arkansas Site Selectors Certified Database. Again, all the information that I cover whenever I'm going and speaking with businesses and industries, we do also have on our website. So it's demographics and a lot of really pertinent information that they really like to have at their fingertips, and also to the residents and the business community here in Cabot. So one of the things that we also did was we had the Lonoke County Job Fair on March 27th. There were over 69 employers that attended this event. And again, we decided to make this a regional event because we want to support our sister cities in the entire region. There was over 250 people that attended, and the best part about this is that there were already 45 jobs that were offered at that event alone, and that was just coming out of that preliminary. We were going to do a wrap-up session, but things got away from us, and so we're hoping to do better as far as looking at the long-term gains for these job fairs. We will be hosting our next job fair on May the 3rd here at the event center. So this will plan to be an annual event, and we still plan to invite our regional partners to attend that as well. So Cabot is open for business. One of the exciting things is all of the new businesses and industries that are coming to the city of Cabot. So just the new business licenses in 2022, there were over 194 new business licenses that were issued to small businesses and large businesses in the city of Cabot. Each of those are identified in that spreadsheet again in front of you as well. This puts us at over 2,000 business licenses for the city. It's pretty substantial. So just highlighting some of those new businesses that did come in 2022, whether these are existing businesses that relocated to a brand new building or a brand new business that was starting up. Here's just a snapshot of just some of those 194 businesses that came to the area. Again, Atwoods, Edge Realty with their new location, Freddy's, Squirrel Fuel, Squisitos, and Humble Thread had their new location as well. That is just a highlight of those new businesses that came in 2022. One of the financial impacts that we have whenever we're recruiting new businesses is the real estate that is sold in association with those commercial pieces of property. So this information is from the county assessor's office. Last year, we brought in there was over $89 million in real estate that was sold in the city of Cabot city limits. Those transactions are off onto your left of that page as well. So there's 126 total. These are just our commercial real estate transactions. I think it's pretty substantial, and you see August was a pretty good month. So we're hoping to continue these trends as we're moving into. And as I continue through in this department, we'll have ongoing trends from 2021, 22, and 23 moving forward. So we can kind of see where our markers started when we moved economic development into the mayor's office and moving forward. Again, Laura and her crew were very busy this year, and if you looked at all of her building permits that she had on commercial and residential, so we just pulled these out and just showcased the commercial permits that were issued in 2022. Some other really important numbers that we wanted to highlight for you guys are the sales tax that is collected. So that is per NAICS description, and those are a very specific description of how those taxes are collected and for what purpose. And those are by month, and the total of each of those are on the spreadsheet that you have in front of you. I didn't total all of those numbers because that is just a small portion of the sales tax revenues that come into the city of Cabot. But we wanted to see just how our food service and our hospitality were faring in the city. And as you can tell, these numbers are ahead of previous trends. So, City of Cabot, come grow with us. There has been, again, a lot of movement in regards to what's going to come for the future for the City of Cabot. We highlighted in the mayor's report recently about the EDA grant in June of 2022, which is a $1.9 million Economic Development Administration grant that was awarded to the City of Cabot. This is a really important grant for the city, and I want it to be known that there was only 2 grants that were awarded in the entire state of Arkansas. Harrison received 1 in the city of Cabot. So for us to get that distinction when we beat out every single city, and I say beat out because we really did, to receive those funds for that incentivization of that area. We do have ongoing conversations with Unity and looking at their long-term plans for that area because it is, in addition to that 750 jobs just for that hospital, there's going to be a lot of other retail, hospitality, and entertainment opportunities in that region. Another opportunity was in 2021 when the City Council enacted the Economic Incentive Program. And this is a very unique program that is now getting a lot of recognition across the state. Because of the way that it is funded, and we are using those business license fees, those 190 plus business licenses that we just got new last year, going back into those coffers, and really playing it forward for small businesses. So we talk with other economic developers and cities across the states of how they can actually do the same thing that we're doing. So we are also setting the pace around the state of doing something outside of the box, and that is really going to be helping spawn on that new development for our city. So just in 2022, we only dispersed $35,000 out of that account. We do have a lot that have been in 2023 that have filled out the paperwork appropriately, submitted all the information, and have actually received those financial incentives this year in 23. And we'll give another report when I come back in a few months, right, Ed? So we talk about the business licenses that came in 2022 and all of that inventory and all of that commercial real estate that was purchased in 2022. Well, it does take time for those things to get out of the ground. So some of these that you'll see on this list, these are the developments that are coming or have come in 2023. Seven Brew, of course, Chick-fil-A, which is a nice hot topic, Central Arkansas Family Clinic, Jersey Mike's, and then the Remax, their new building that they have over off of Main Street. There's a lot of things that are going to be coming in 23, and so we just hope to be able to make a lot more announcements as we move forward. And that's it for me today. If anybody has any questions,
I have a couple.
go for it.
The workshops, seminars, whatever you want to call them, are they very well attended?
As a matter of fact, out of the small business seminar that we had Three Flamingos was one of those people who's physically sat in that seminar thinking about purchasing that other business, and so they actually came to that meeting and because of that purchased that business. There's usually in attendance about 40 to 50 people in attendance. We're working with the conductor out of Conway, which is an incubator for small businesses and supporting them, and they're wanting to do a small business series and partner with them on that. So that's one of our big plans moving forward for 23 as well.
I don't know what the others were. I'll think of them maybe and maybe not, but that was important to me because we were roundly criticized for not offering any type of assistance to builders or developers, especially on the commercial end of it and for the entertainment and those kinds of things. So I'm glad to see that that is being utilized. How many of those are you planning on doing a year?
Are you talking about the Economic Incentive
Right.
Program, or are we talking about seminars?
All of them.
So the seminars, we're hoping to do like a 6-part series. So it kind of where they build on top of that. That's partnering with the SBA
Right.
and their financial lending services and the ASBTC, the Arkansas Small Business Technology
So
Center.
you're just going to do the whole gambit then?
I'm going to do all of them, and that way people can pop
Good,
in and
good,
figure out
good,
what
good,
helps
good,
them the
good.
best. Absolutely.
Good. Now, what about the incentive?
So right now.
You don't get into a whole lot of real
No, it's fine.
specifics if you don't want to, but is it being utilized? Is it known in the industry?
As far as I know, I currently have 10 applications that are sitting in my desk in different stages of approval. Some of them are just starting that concept of what they're planning to do and moving through the process. Others have actually been fully executed in 23.
Good enough. Anybody else got any questions, comments, concerns on the council? Anybody in the audience?
And I have handouts here if anyone would like
Lisa,
them.
thanks, and I
Thank you, sir.
will get with you probably, this is April, May, June, July, maybe July, August.
Sounds great.
Kind of let the summer get brewing and find out what's going on.
Thank
Okay?
you, Mayor. Thank you, Council.
Thank you. Okay, that concludes the reports. I think, Ben, what do we got? 2 more left for next month, and that's it? I know the library is next month, and isn't there another one?
We have library next month, we have Mike with traffic next month. and
That's
then
right.
We also have
That's right.
Miss Candace with the A&B next month.
Okay, so we got 3 next month, and that ends those up. You know, if we wasn't so busy and didn't have so many departments that had a lot of things to say, we could do this in one night. But you can't in Cabot. It takes a whole lot longer than that to get the business out and get the good news out, and I'm proud for that. Okay, let's get into our regular business then. A resolution authorizing the mayor, city clerk, treasurer to enter into an agreement with Metro Plan and Arkansas Department of Transportation implementation of the previously approved, that's important, downtown streetscape cycle track project. Mayor?
Yes, sir. As you saw in your packet, this was the funding we received after y'all approved Resolution 57 of 2021. It's $200,000 for the pre-work of our downtown cycle track and streetscape project engineering. So we'll be out 40, 50,000, and then TAP will pay 200,000 of it. So it's a very good deal. Anytime you can, invest 40,000 and get 200 back, it's what we want to do every time. That's why we go after so many grants, and we need to probably get a number of how many grants we've received over the last 4 years, because we have a lot. So we're doing a lot of projects, and everybody's staying pretty busy.
If we do that, and I would like to do that, break it out on administration side, your side of it, then Wheeler's side and the police and fire.
Sure.
People are going to be surprised the amount of grants that we get. But that's these resolutions that we pass that gives y'all the permission to apply for those things, and they come back to us. It's working. It's working well.
Thanks, sir.
Anybody got any questions for the mayor on that? Anybody in the audience have any questions? If not, I need a motion, please. I got a motion. I need a second.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to move to full council. Tammy, please.
Long,
Yes.
Hillenberg,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Next item, a resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk treasurer to enter into an agreement with Xerox Business Solutions Southwest for installation and support of a multifunction printer and copier machine. Roger?
Evening, everyone. This is a pretty straightforward project. Our copier infrastructure is aging out in the city, and we just needed to upgrade it. We put out a competitive bid, to which we had 4 respondents. In your packet is included a little spreadsheet I threw together to kind of at a glance take a look at this. We had 4 different respondents. Out of the categories there, you've got the monthly fees that they proposed in their packets. The third column there is our cost for printing per month. What that is I took the rates that each company proposed in their packets and multiplied that by our averages to give us those numbers there. Combine the 2 on the end, and we had those 4 final numbers. They were fairly close. We had a couple of outliers, one significantly cheaper than the other. So this being the best looking bid, we went with that.
Okay, as I always do, I asked Ben. Ben, everything was proper and in order?
Yes, sir. The bid was advertised as appropriate and everything was done in order.
Okay. Anybody on the council got any questions, comments, or concerns to Roger about this proposal? Anybody in the audience? Mr. Bailey?
I want to say, well, get up here where you can hear me. I want to say Roger did a great job of putting out the bid specs. I have couldn't wish for anything better. One thing that happened whenever we put this out, it was in my original packet. We were offering a discount for placing order by March 28th. That can't happen because it has to be approved tonight, April the 3rd. So when I went back to RICO, I said, guys, what can we do? They said, we can do that plus some. So they, because I'm passing through all of that, we would take $145.74 off of what our final amount was. And there is there's some fixed cost involved in ending a lease. I can save you $400 one time for ending the lease on 5 pieces of equipment that have come to an end. And in addition to that, when it comes time to return equipment, there's some indefinite fixed cost there that would also be a savings to the city. I think we would still be a few dollars higher than Xerox. The way I was figuring, it was something like 80 or 90 bucks. But that's before we take off $400 one-time savings whenever you end the lease, because at end of lease, you got to pay them off. We say $400 there. Plus, when it comes time to ship, we're going to ship them at our cost. We send them back through a, insured, licensed and insured office equipment system, because you don't want to send a copier up to Great America and have it arrive at their place in pieces. They'll bill you for it. So I wish the council to consider that it would be extremely close, and especially if you consider these fixed costs that are associated with ending a lease.
I don't know that we can do anything, Ben. This is outside the bid. The bid is closed. It's, you want to comment on it?
Yes, sir, I'm very sympathetic to what he's saying, but unfortunately, under the law, once a bid closes, it cannot be changed. At this point, we are locked in with the figures that were presented. There is a legal preference for the lowest bidder. To not go with that person as was submitted gives them a right of a lawsuit, opens up a significant liability. Again, completely sympathetic with what you're saying, but under the law, once that bid period closes, that's it.
Anybody on the council got any questions, comments, or concerns, either to Mr. Bailey or to Ben? If not, anybody in the audience? Okay, I need a motion, please.
Motion to send it full council.
I have a motion from James to go to council. I need a second, please.
Second.
I have a second. Brandon, was that you?
Yes.
Okay. Tammy, please.
Long,
Yes.
Hillenberg,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, that completes my section of it. Mayor?
Thank you, sir. As always, we will wait to discuss anything from the audience and general community input after all chairmen from each committee have spoken and went through each section. So our next section is Budget and Personnel Committee, Chairman Stephen Redd.
Thank you, Mayor. We have a resolution to amend the general fund of 2023 annual operating budget, appropriating the amount herein and for other purposes, presented by Mr. Matthew Hood.
Thank you, everyone. Basically, what you have in front of you is just a budget amendment to add a full-time HR general's position with me in the mayor's office. Just briefly, why we didn't do it at regular budget. Roughly about a year and a half ago, me and Roger met with Ken, let him know that, hey, city's growing, we need just a little help in the areas of HR and IT. So we were fortunate enough to add the IT in with Roger, and that person's started and done a great job. On my side, Parks had their own HR person, so trying to save the city a little money and work together, we got with Travis. And we kind of worked something out to kind of split that position, save some money, and also, if and when Parks ever does come under the city, we didn't want to have an HR there, 2 on our side, because obviously, if that did happen, we wouldn't have the need for 3. So we did that. We did it for about 3 months. The person in that position got the opportunity where she could do her own business, so we were excited, happy for her. So me and Travis met last week, kind of discussed it, and thought it would be best if it kind of go in reverse, have the position set in our office, and then if Parks is interested, we can share that with them that way, work with them, and if not, if they want to go a different route, they're more than welcome to. But we're just to the point where need a little help, just the day-to-day stuff, big projects, things like that. The number you see in front of you is prorated, obviously. As crazy as it sounds, we're actually a fourth of the way through the year, so that number takes into account that we'd only be paying for 3/4 of the year. So that's all it is. If anyone has any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Otherwise, that's it.
Any questions, concerns from the council? Any from the audience? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to send it to full council.
Second.
Perfect, thank you. Amy?
Spangler,
Yes.
Red,
Yes.
Cope. Yes.
Any other business? Chairman Redd?
No, sir, not this time.
Okay, our next section is Police and Fire Committee, Chairman James Reed.
Thank you, Mayor. We don't have an agenda item tonight, but in light of what we've been through in this last Friday night and this weekend, I did want to add that although we have the tornado sirens, they're functional, they're working great. There are so many ways to reach the public. If you go online and put in public.codered.com, you can register and you'll get automatic feeds to your telephone for tornado warnings. And that's just something we all ought to do.
And I also wanted to tell council that we're going to work on, with my staff, getting an RFQ together for a pre-position company. You can sign a 5-year contract with them, so if something like this was to hit Cabot, I can immediately call them and they can be on the ground collecting waste, putting the waste up, helping out neighborhoods, charging us, because I'm sure if it's an event like that, it's going to be a FEMA event, and they know how to document it and put it in the computer the correct way, so Cabot gets their money quicker and exact amount that they need, and not that we leave some money on the table. So we're going to work on that, trying to figure out what companies in the area and send out the advertisement to them, and then so y'all will see that probably by this summer, but I think we need to have someone on retainer. It doesn't cost anything, it's just a contract with them that we've already will sign, that if we have an event like that, we call them and they'll just swoop in with, take care of the whole city.
That's great.
That being said, Mayor, too, I would like to address this to Ben, if I may. Ben, I know that we talked about it during COVID, about review our ordinances and things and make sure that we had a instrument in place where that whenever the governor declares an emergency or whatever, the mayor can act without having to get all of us together, in a immediate. How far did we get on that? I don't remember.
We got as far as the state law at the time would let us get. I think they are doing maybe a little bit with that during this current legislative session, so we will relook at it again. But no, we did act pursuant to that during the COVID stuff. For those of you that remember, we did several actions like that, and we went as far as the law would allow us to at the time.
Let's go ahead and try to roll that into this. I think it's an excellent idea if we can. I know we're going to be limited on how much we can do preliminarily or in advance, but if we can do that, I'd be glad to work with you on it if you need me, or, you don't need me for very little, and thank goodness for that. But let's go ahead and finish that up if we can. I mean, we never know when we might have another COVID bug come along or whatever we need to do. We functioned very well last time, but there were some things that we could have eased up on. And I like this idea a lot, but let's make sure we got legislation in place to make it work.
Yes, sir.
Anything else, Chairman Reed?
That's all I got. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Community Development Committee, Chairman Ed Long.
See above.
Gotcha. Next, Military Affairs Committee, Chairman Ron Waymack. Okay. Corey?
Yeah, so the high school is on Thursday, April 27th. They're going to have a military signing day during both lunches at the high school. It's a time to recognize students who've made a commitment to enlist or enter in a college military program like ROTC or Military Academy. They'd love to have some veterans show up to support these young folks. The first lunch is from 11:09 to 11:41. Second is from 12:02 to 12:34. It's being organized by Angela Beeson. If you want details, you can shoot me an email and I'll get you in touch.
Very good idea. Any other items for the Military Committee? Seeing none, we'll move into general community input. Anyone have anything to present to the mayor and the council? Seeing none, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Second.
I got a motion from Ed, a second from Matt Weber. I'm sorry, James. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Adjourned at 7:19. We'll take a 5-6 minute break before we start the council meeting. It is 7:25, and I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. First item is going to be opening prayer by James Reed, and then the Pledge of Allegiance by Stephen Redd. If you'd stand with me, please.
Heavenly Father, as we gather to discuss the business of the city, we ask for your grace and your leadership. These are difficult times in our state and the country with the devastation of Friday's storms. We ask for your compassion on the many families that lost their homes, their lives, and their health. We recognize the outpouring of neighbor helping neighbor is a reflection of your presence. Please give us the wisdom and the understanding to serve our community now and in the future. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Tammy, can you take roll, please?
Long,
I'm here.
Spangler,
Here.
Red,
Here.
Here.
Hillenberg, Coe,
Here.
Reed,
Here.
Weber,
Here.
Waymack.
Okay, our first item of business is reading ordinances and resolutions by title only. Do I have any action?
I'll make a motion we read ordinances and resolutions by title only.
Second.
Got a motion by Stephen, a second by Matt. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, roll call vote, please, Tammy.
Long,
Yes.
Spangler,
Yes.
Red,
Yes.
Hillenberg,
Yes.
Coe,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Waymack.
Passes 8-0. All right, I have two items of old business. The first item is ordinance number 6 of 2023. Please, Tammy.
Number 6 of 2023, an ordinance to amend Section 4-16 of the Unified Development Code of the Code of Cabot to declare an emergency and for other purposes. Third reading.
Mayor, I make a motion that we adopt ordinance 6 of 2023.
Second.
Got a motion by Ed, a second by Matt Weber to adopt ordinance number 6 of 2023. Any discussions by council? Seeing none.
I was going to propose an amendment.
Sir?
Can I propose an amendment, or is that out of order?
Well, we already have a motion on the floor to approve said ordinance as stated. We'd have to have Ed remove his motion and Matt to remove his second to propose an amendment.
Oh, well, shucks. All right.
Do you still want that to happen? In discussion, what would be your proposal?
Okay, so yeah, there we go. I want to strike point B on 4.16.4. At no point shall a food truck park remain open for 24 hours. And on a separate amendment, I was going to propose the part about drive-throughs that was so controversial, add verbiage saying that it can be without planning commission approval.
So Ed, do you want to remove your motion for those two items, or you want your vote or your question to be answered?
Councilmember Weber, will you withdraw your second?
Yes.
He withdraws his second, I will withdraw my motion.
Okay. So we'd have to have a motion to amend ordinance number 6 of 2023 to strike open for 24 hours and to strike drive-through. Is that the two items?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to do them as two separate amendments. I probably have a better chance of getting one of them passed if I do that, right?
It'd be, yes. Okay. So we will vote on, separately, we'll go first with the, are you making a motion to amend for what?
So I move to strike point B on section 4.16.4 of ordinance 6 that states, at no point shall a food truck park remain open for 24 hours.
Okay. Do I have a second? If there's no second, it dies.
All right. I move to amend point L of the same section. It says no vehicle drive-through services shall be permitted within a food truck park. I would like the addition of comma without planning commission approval.
Okay, your motion is to remove planning commission approval?
No, to add. It's
To
not-
add planning
yeah.
commission approval. To which section again?
Section L of 4.16.4.
4.16.4?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I got a motion from Corey to amend ordinance number 6 of 2023, 4.16.4, to add per planning commission approval. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Second.
And I got a second from Matt Weber. Any discussion on this amendment? Seeing none, any from the audience? Seeing none, all in favor, roll call vote, please. Tammy?
Reed.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Waymack. Long.
Yes.
Spangler.
Yes.
Red.
Yes.
Hillenberg.
Yes.
Coe.
Yes.
That amendment passes 8-0.
Now, Mayor, I make a motion that we adopt ordinance number 6 of 2023 as amended.
And I'll second that.
Were you done?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay. Ed makes a motion and Matt seconds to adopt ordinance number 6 of 2023 as amended. Any discussion?
Thank you all for entertaining my motions.
Any from the audience? Seeing none, all in favor, roll call vote, please. Tammy?
Reed.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Waymack. Long.
Yes.
Spangler.
Yes.
Red.
Yes.
Hillenberg.
Yes.
Coe.
Yes.
Passes 8-0. Next ordinance, number 7 of 2023, please, Tammy.
Number 7 of 2023, an ordinance to amend Section 4-6 of the Unified Development Code of the Code of Cabot to declare an emergency and for other purposes. Third reading.
I make a motion that we adopt ordinance number 7 of 2023.
Second.
Got a motion from Brandon, second by Stephen, to adopt ordinance number 7 of 2023. Any discussion by council? Seeing none, anybody in the audience? Seeing none, all in favor, roll call vote, please. Tammy?
Weber.
Yes.
Waymack. Long.
Yes.
Spangler.
Yes.
Red.
Yes.
Hillenberg.
Yes.
Coe.
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
Passes 8-0. Any other old business, council? Seeing none, we'll move into city council new business. I have 6 items tonight. First item is ordinance number 9 of 2023. Please, Tammy.
Number 9 of 2023, an ordinance to amend Section 5-5-2 of the Unified Development Code of the Code of Cabot to declare an emergency and for other purposes. First reading.
Okay, I see no other actions needed unless council wants to do anything. I see none. Next item, Tammy, ordinance number 10 of 2023.
Number 10 of 2023, an ordinance to rezone part of the proposed Wind Ridge Estates development from R-1 to R-4M, amending the land use plan and for other purposes. First reading.
Okay, any other action? Seeing none, we'll move to item number 3, resolution number 22 of 2023. Please, Tammy.
Resolution number 22 of 2022, a resolution appointing J. Lalou to the Cabot Advertising and Promotion Commission and for other purposes.
I make a motion that we adopt resolution number 22 of 2023.
Second.
I got a motion by Maggie Cope, a second from Corey Springler to adopt resolution number 22 of 2023. Any discussions by council? Anybody in the audience?
Mayor, I do have one question.
Yes, sir.
How long has Mr. Lelu served on our A&P Commission?
For a long time. Jay, how long you been on there? 2 terms. 10 years? 10 years. Any other discussion by council? Seeing none, all in favor of this resolution, roll call vote, please, Tammy.
Red,
No.
Hillenberg,
Yes.
Coe,
Yes.
Reed,
No.
Weber,
No.
Waymack, Long,
No.
Spangler.
Yes.
It fails 4-4. Next item, resolution number 23 of 2023. Please, Tammy.
Resolution number 23 of 2023, a resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk treasurer to enter into an agreement with MetroPlan and the Arkansas Department of Transportation for the implementation of the previously approved downtown streetscape cycle track project and for other purposes.
I make a motion that we approve resolution of number 23 of 2023.
Second.
I got a motion from Brandon, a second from James. Any discussion by council? Any from the audience? Seeing none, all in favor, roll call vote, please. Tammy.
Spangler,
Yes.
Red,
Yes.
Hillenberg,
Yes.
Cope,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Waymack, Long.
Yes.
Passes 8-0. Thanks, Tammy. Next item is resolution number 24 of 2023.
Number 24 of 2023, a resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk treasurer to enter into an agreement with Xerox Business Solutions Southwest for installation and support of multifunction printer and copier machines and for other purposes.
Make a motion, we adopt resolution number 24 of 2023.
Second.
I got a motion from Ed, a second by Matt, to adopt resolution number 24 of 2023. Any discussion by council? Anybody in the audience? Seeing none, all in favor, roll call vote, please. Tammy.
Hillenberg,
Yes.
Cope,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Waymack, Long,
Yes.
Spangler,
Yes.
Red.
Yes.
Passes 8-0. Next item, resolution number 25 of 2023. Please, Tammy.
Number 25 of 2023, a resolution to amend the general fund of the 2023 annual operating budget, appropriating the amount herein and for other purposes.
I'll make a motion, we adopt resolution 25 of 2023.
Second.
I got a motion by Stephen, a second by Brandon, to adopt resolution number 25 of 2023. Any discussion by council? Anybody in the audience? Seeing none, all in favor, roll call vote, please. Tammy.
Red,
Yes.
Hillenberg,
Yes.
Cope,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Waymack, Long,
Yes.
Spangler.
Yes.
Passes 8-0. Next, we'll move into community input. Now's the time to address the mayor and the council. Please state your name and if you live in Cabot.
Good evening, Alicia Paisno. Just wanted to
Do
let
you live in
every-
Cabot?
I do live in Cabot, yes, sir, thank you. I just wanted everyone to know that there is going to be a Cabot Volunteer Fest on Saturday, April the 15th, from 9 to 12 at the City Hall parking lot. This is a nonprofit that specializes in supporting volunteer efforts in our community. So they're inviting all of the different nonprofits to come and set up a tent in the parking lot there, where people who are interested in getting connected with our city and those volunteer services to be able to meet one-on-one with something that is near and dear to their heart. We will be posting all of this on the City of Cabot Facebook page and loading it onto our website as well.
April 15th.
April 15th from 9 to 12.
Okay, thank you, Alicia. Brian Burrows. Oh, I'm sorry.
My name is Brian Burrows, and no, I do not live in the city of Cabot. I'm very close, but not all the way. Just a quick reminder, because you probably don't know this, there are 4 of you that I'll be bringing, the seat ones for the first half of the year. We've put out an RFQ for a construction manager for the Justice Center project that is in design, and 4 of you will be receiving packets from me or someone like me next week. And I believe that's Ed and Matt. And I'm going to get dog bit. Can I leave them in your mailbox? No. Oh, they dogs bite mailmen. That's right.
Steven's the other one.
Steven, yours number, is it Maggie? Are you seat 1 and you're, so I couldn't, you're not? No? You may take it to Ron's house instead?
Yeah, Maggie's seat 1, I think. Because it's in the first half of the year.
I can wait till July 1st and let someone else do it. But I just wanted to warn you about that. You have, per the ordinance, you'll have at least 14 days.
And 14 packets to look at?
Yeah, probably so, honestly.
Yeah, they're going to want this project.
Yeah, they're jumping on this pretty hard. You had quite a few last time. I do want to talk to Ben, and we can do this privately, about how we do some of the scoring, because we have our own choices within the ordinance to do that. We don't have to use the RFI form from the feds. So, and we'll deal with that next week. But I'll be bringing them around to you. So I'm very sorry.
Hi, we're so glad you came up to talk to us.
Anyone else from the audience? Seeing none, can a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Got a motion from Stephen, a second from Ed. It's 7:42. You sure there's nothing else before I say adjourn? There's not. Adjourn, 7:42. Thanks everybody for coming.